Hey crew, so I'm just doing a little doodling here, having a little bit of fun doing some silhouette layers. And since I was down here, I thought I'd give you guys, or get online and see what you guys are up to, and hopefully we can talk and maybe share some techniques together, huh? So as I mentioned, I went ahead and I just did a light green background, and then I did a little bit of a silhouette terrain on the background. Now I'm just going to use a little bit of clear coat. Now remember, clear coat is a great tool because it keeps everything nice and moist. I'm going to create a bit of a water effect here, going back and forth. Notice how, see, this kind of smears up a little bit. That's exactly what we want it to do. It gives us a little more realistic looking water. I have this little thing that I bought from the dollar store. It goes on tables, and you know what? It works great. I recommend it if you guys are having trouble. Like, I have troubles with this sometimes where I'm painting and I'm kind of smearing the paint, and then the painting moves off to the side. This thing does a pretty good job, especially after it has a little bit of paint on it. Oh, it works great. So anyways, here we go. It's gonna go back and forth. See, I say it works great, and then of course when I need it to work, it doesn't really work, but it works great, believe me. Except for today. For some reason today is not working, but any other day. Alright, let's see, where is my green? One thing about my spray cans, guys, and you guys, when you get them, you're gonna have to paint the top of them with another color so that you know that it is green. This is going to give us a little bit of a nice fading effect, so we're going to go over it with our Spraycasso tool here. We're just going to go back and forth, kind of emphasize that water. Very simple to do, right? I'm just doing, and I'm doing it one-handed, so you guys should have no problem creating something like this. So very simply, we've already created a background layer, a nice little silhouette of a mountain, a little bit of a fading effect. This could be the nebula effect. And then we created some water by just mirroring some of the colors that we already painted on here back and forth. Now if you want to make the colors stand out a little bit more, you can use a little bit of white. Just going to spray that off on the side. Tap into it. Now it's okay if you get a little much on there. We're going to blend it with the other colors anyways. Okay, I like the way this is coming out. So I'm going to add a little bit more green, maybe right around this area, perhaps over here. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I did earlier, and that is to create a silhouette layer. I'm going to create a silhouette layer that's close to us. It's going to be maybe a little rocky terrain right about here. Alright, let me see what you guys are saying here. Adam Crawford, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a couple of years, actually. High school. Sheila Walker, thank you. That means a lot to me. Chris Picks, yeah, you know what? It is doing a pretty good job. It has a little hard time focusing sometimes, but overall, it's the internet. I'm down at my basement, so sometimes I lose reception with the internet. So if that happens, guys, I will log back in, and we'll continue from wherever I left off. Okay, so right now we've created a quick little terrain, silhouette layer terrain in the background. We're using nothing more than black, and we kind of smeared it downwards, leveled it up a little bit with our Spraycasso soft tip tool. I've gotten a lot of questions about these tools, guys. You can get these on my website. There's similar tools out there. I'm not sure what they're called though. I'm just going to create another little terrain here. Now this is a painting that you can do when you're spray painting live. Now, unfortunately for you guys, I talk a lot, so I stop and I read the comments. But a painting like this should take you about 5-10 minutes. Just going to create some of this. Good. Now I'm leaving a little space here. One of the things that I've gotten a lot of wonderful questions about is how I create my waterfalls. I think they're really easy to do. There's about 3 different techniques. The one that I use the most, especially when spray painting live, is the one that I'm about to show you guys here in a little bit. So I recommend this one. Now we need this layer to be nice and moist, so I'm going to wetten that with a little bit of clear coat. And I'm going to add a little bit of green here off on the side. I'll put a little bit of white on top of that. Now watch this. This is very simple to do, guys. Come in and smear the paint downwards. That's it. That's exactly what I do to get my waterfalls. Now, since I've been talking a lot, the paint got a little dried, but it's okay. We can just keep wetting it. See, and it gives you that nice little reflective see-through water effect. Okay, I'm going to blend this into the background. Now, it's okay if we overlap some of the rocks that we created. We can always go back and touch those up a little bit. So very simple. You just mirror it downwards. Look at that. All right. So I'm going to add a little bit more black here on the side because I want to retouch some of these rocks that we just covered up. Very simple, very easy to do. I love using the Spraycasso tool here. I don't think I can go back. I used to do the same effects with a magazine sheet, but it works. So if you guys don't have one of these, definitely use a magazine sheet. Let me see. I'm going to use a little bit of green. I'm going to start working on the highlights. So this is going to be pretty cool. I'm just tapping into some green here. I'm going to start adding some of these highlights up here. Now it may look a little blue because there's a little bit of blue under here. See that? So that's definitely working for our advantage, I think. Makes it a little bit more sci-fi. Quick update. The spray paints should be available on the website probably sometime this week or next week. We're just getting some minor stuff settled. So that's another question that I've gotten a lot lately. Now see, it doesn't take a whole lot to create this mountain, make it look more realistic. I say that and I'm making it green, right? More sci-fi realistic. Say that. And this is very simple ways. I definitely recommend you guys try this of adding the highlights up top of your painting. I know there's a lot of spray paint masters out there or spray painters that tell you to scratch. You know, so for example, they'll tell you to do something like this. You know, and to me, it doesn't quite work out for me. Yeah, your attention goes directly to it, so I don't recommend it, guys. If you're gonna add highlights, do what I'm doing here. Just a little bit of green or whatever color it is that you're going to use your highlights, and just do quick tappings on your terrain, and you'll see that it'll pay off. It'll make your terrain look more realistic. It'll definitely add more depth, and your attention will not be drawn immediately to the white spot where this is the negative space showing, and the whole purpose of our paintings is to cover up the negative space. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna add a little more green here on this side, and we're back. Yeah, apparently I moved a little too much to the left, and I guess I don't have any signal over to my left. So anyways, where did we leave off? Okay, I was adding some highlights to this terrain using a little bit of green. Now I'm afraid to go too far to the left, so we're just gonna put this right about here. You guys have seen my handy dandy little spray paint tools. There's similar tools out there, and I think they're called smudging tools that you can definitely use. This is ones that I'm, you know, specifically getting made for us, for the art of spray paint. But it'll be a little while before I can put them online. All right, so let's see. I'm trying not to lose the signal here, guys. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry, we lost reception there, the internet. Not sure what the heck, but all right. So if I'm not mistaken, the last place where we left off, we were adding some highlights here. Using the black, I went ahead and I just added a thin layer of black on this area. Right, so now we have this little dark spot right about here. Same thing on this other side. We just added a little bit of black. And, you know, at this point, oh, let me do this. Can you guys see that better? At this point, you can add more terrains on this area, or you can add plant life. In this case, I'm going to add plant life. Just a little bit of black. Handy dandy sea sponge. If you guys haven't seen my tutorials before, I love this stuff. This stuff is great for creating fur, hair, trees, and grass strands. It's just awesome. I highly recommend it. I know it's a little expensive in some Hobby Lobby stores or arts and crafts stores. Oh, hold on. Let me. Where the heck? Let's try this again. All right. So I want to show you guys what this stuff looks like when you create the grass strands. It's pretty neat. It definitely adds a lot of dimension to your paintings. Look at that. Perhaps I can add some down here so you guys can see what it looks like when you overlap it. Pretty cool, right? It's really easy to do. Let me see what you guys are saying. Sheila, yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what happened there. Jason. Yes, sir. All the paint I'm using here is Spraycasso paint. And like I mentioned earlier, it will be available on the website here pretty soon. We're just waiting for a secondary shipment. And you know, thank God, everything has been going really well. We're definitely truly blessed the way everything's been working out with the paint. As I said, though, we got rid of all our first shipments, so even I myself didn't have any paint left. But we're waiting for another one in this next shipment. We're gonna put it on the website, so you guys are more than welcome to go take a look at it and give it a try. I'm very pleased the way this paint works, and it mixes so very well with other paints, so you can use other colors. Alright, let's see. So using the grass technique, I was able to create this nice little background. This perhaps can be like a distant piece of land, maybe some pine trees. We can add some right here too. Very simple to use. See guys, sea sponge, I'm telling you. Now there's a few people out there that tell you not to use it. Yeah, don't listen to that. I'm telling you, sea sponge works great. Alright, you guys gonna use a little bit of clear coat, and I'm gonna kind of blend. Oh, I hope we're not losing internet connection. Okay. Just gonna blend here where the water connects with our terrain. It's gonna blend it together so that it doesn't look like it's out floating in the middle of space. Alright, just gonna add a little bit more there. Alright, I'm afraid to go too far to the left. Apparently that's the dead zone. That's where if I scoot too far to the left, we lose reception. Let me see. Anybody else? Any questions, comments? I'm trying to go through here. And alright, no questions so far. Everybody can do this, right? This is very easy. It should take you no more than 5 to 10 minutes. Except for me, because I'm always constantly talking here. Now, what you can do to add more realism to this painting is we already have a nice little layout of what our background can be and some of our front ground. Now, we can use the Spraycasso funnel here, another little great tool that I recommend you guys build. I have instructions on it. Great. Aha! Great paint, tell you what. Alright, so I'm trying to do this with one hand here. We're going to put a little bit of black, and I'm going to start creating some trees that are closer to us. Alright, let's see. Whoop. Whoop. There you go. Probably going to make one right about here. Oh. Now remember, guys, the trick about the funnel is how much tilt you put to your hand, and it allows, you can either do thick lines or you can do really thin lines like the ones that I'm doing here. And that's basically just on the tilt of your hand. The more you tilt, well, the more paint that's going to come out. Oh, doesn't look like I put a whole lot of paint in there. It's a little hard to do this single-handedly. Alright, let's try this again. So we created a tree right about here. I'd like to do one maybe, yeah, maybe over here, crossing some of this area. Now you want your layers to overlap because that will give your paintings more realism. Alright, so let's start off here with there we go. Now remember, I'm making these lines really thin, all based on the angle that I'm spreading the paint on here. If I add a lot more, I'm afraid to do it because I don't want to ruin it, but the more I put, you know, the thicker the lines will come out. In this case, we want to create really fine, thin lines, so I'm being a little careful not to let all the paint that's in here come out all at once. Let's see, right here. Hope you guys can see some of these fine details. So you can see that with the funnel, you get not only a lot of paint, well, a lot more paint than you would with the folded sheet, but you can do some very fine and detailed branches, lines. So you can keep adding, maybe, you know, maybe a little tree right here, a little branch going into this. I'd like to concentrate a little bit of attention on this bottom part. So I'm going to use white. That was a lot of white. I should have cleaned the cap. No problem. So a little bit of white. Now I'm going to put some green on top of that. And you can do this with your finger. Now guys, remember, it's important you wear gloves. Whatever you put on your skin is going to absorb. I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you that these guys have 9 vitamins and minerals or anything like that. So please put gloves on. Don't do as I do. See, now when you blend these two colors together, look at that. You get a very realistic, almost like an oil-like water. So it's very neat. I definitely encourage you guys to practice these techniques. Now, because my white cap was full of paint, it kind of splattered a little bit down here, and that's okay too. What I'm going to do to disguise some of that, I'm going to use a little bit of black right there. Use a sea sponge and kind of go back over it and add some more grass strands. Let me see. I want you guys to see how this works and the realism that it adds to it. You guys see that? So maybe we can add, like maybe we can add a couple strands that stick out here. Something like that. Maybe a couple right here. The more detail you add to it, of course, it's always going to be, the better that it is going to be for you. And the more possibilities you'll have to sell your painting. So without going into too much detail, we can still add some more highlights, maybe to some of these trees in the background, to your trees here. but I think for today, I think this would be good enough. You guys like it? I know I said I was gonna do more tutorials like on the weekends, but guys, I have been so crazy busy, it's not even funny. We're still producing a show for Comcast. We're working out a deal with YouTube, so we have to keep producing shows for them on a weekly basis as well. And so I've kind of not had the time to do this one-on-one, and I just thought I'd catch up with you guys and see what you guys wanted to see. Maybe we can do another one. Let's plan for another one next Sunday. So I'm gonna set up a questionnaire and see what you guys wanna paint. Maybe we can do an eagle. We can do another sci-fi scenery. Maybe we can do one a little more complicated. I don't know. I want you guys to take some time, think about what you would like for me to cover, and let's cover that next Sunday. Let's see, any more questions? Let me take a look at here. Chris Picks, no, there's no vitamins, unfortunately, none to ingest. Sheila, please don't eat the paint. It's already bad enough that I'm painting without my mask, but I want to show you guys. I actually have a couple of masks. I got this one, which I use on occasions. This is the one I use the most. So please wear your masks. Alright, so can we all agree? Sunday, around the same time that we are today. I don't have my watch with me. It's 3:37. So how about we do Sunday, 3 o'clock? We'll come together again and we'll create a painting together. Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's quick tutorial. Sorry for the quick disconnect that we had earlier. Internet problems, but until next time, crew, let's do an abandoned volcano. Yeah, abandoned volcano sounds good. I'll do a questionnaire. I'll post it up and I'll see what most people want to see. The reason I did this one tonight is because I was just messing around. I was listening to some music, and I made this one earlier. And like I said, I was just having some fun with it, and I thought, you know what? Let's do one like this and let's share it with everyone. So instead of just, kind of practicing by myself, I think it would be more fun if we all get together and practice. So next Sunday, I'll see you guys here. Until next time, crew, keep those cans shaking. Keep an eye out for that questionnaire. We'll see what everybody wants to see. Till next time. Later, guys.